you doing? Welcome, FPV curious friends and people who want to learn how to fly drones. My name is Mike Chen, and I go by the pilot name of the Bits because I like to eat all the bits that fall off at everything bagel. I wanted to take some time and make a introduction video to flying FPV because there's just so many creators, so many people out there making recommendations on what to buy, and realistically I think the place to start is in a simulator, learning how to fly drones, learning how to control them, and then kind of get a feel for it and see if this is something you want to do. Because I will say that the flying portion is not easy, and then the building and repairing portion is even harder. And to start, the best thing I can recommend is spend $100, $120, $130, I think, on a radio at the most. And that'll get you pretty far. That'll get you at least into the simulator and flying around, and if you don't like it, you can sell it. That's the best thing I can recommend. I don't want to tell you to go spend $2,000-$3,000 on goggles and drones and this and that and all this other stuff yet, if you don't even know if this is something you want to do or not. So I'm making this video series on how to start. The best way to start FPVs, in my recommendation, is to start in a simulator, because every crash costs you hitting the reset button. And there's nothing really more you really need after that. Once you kind of get into the sim and you get a really good grasp on flying, and if you want to continue flying after that, then we can start talking about that later. But I wanted to do a good beginner series to get people flying FPV and not spend all their money, and really just figure out if this is for you or not. Because I'm going to say this has a very high barrier of entry after you get out of the simulator. So I just want to make sure that if you're getting into this, you have a good experience, you're having fun. And then, like I said, if you want to spend money after that and really get into this, there's plenty of other people who can make recommendations from there, and then I can do videos later if you'd like. But this series is going to be specifically just tailored to learning how to fly FPV. And the simulator I'm going to recommend starting in is going to be Velocidrone. Velocidrone is going to be a little graphics heavy. So if you do not have at least a dedicated GPU or computer that plays games pretty well, it's probably not going to run super well, unfortunately. If that is the case for you, please drop a comment and let me know, what kind of hardware you're working with for your computer, and we can talk about other simulators. But this one specifically is going to be starting off with Velocidrone, mainly because in Velocidrone there is an entire class of drones called Street League Spec. These big, chonky drones that run 7-inch propellers. They're RPM limited so that they're very, very slow, and it's just going to be a really, really good learning tool to learn how to fly FPV. You can start, if you really want, with an Xbox or PlayStation controller, but I'm going to recommend against that, mainly because you're not going to have the same input resolution. So if you see on the radio the amount of movement that you have from center stick all the way over and all the way over. You have all this movement, which means you can get better, finer control over the drone. Whereas if you're using an Xbox controller, you got and that's all you got, and it's just not going to be a really good experience. But if you must, it can be done. That's going to be another thing where if you really want to use it, drop me a comment and I will figure out how to show you how to set that up, because it's going to be a little bit of a different setup. But this whole series is going to be specifically set to getting you set up in Velocidrone, how to set your radio or whatever controller you're using up, and how to fly, and just to try to give you the best first experience into FPV that I can possibly provide. Thanks for watching, and hopefully see you in the next video.